Hi everyone, my name is Rose, and I'm to update you on the books I've read so far this year. Well, not so far really. I'm doing like halfway. I've been meaning to film this for like a month though, so I'm only updating on the first 15 because that's half of my goal. But I've actually read like 18-ish. So yeah, and one of the books I don't have on me because it was my mom's book and I like borrowed it to read it. But I'll talk about that when I get to it. So I'll do it in order in which I read them. And then I'll have the dates that I finished them in the description box because I have that written down. But I can't remember it. I can't remember it in order because if I tried to, I would like lose track. So let's just get into the 15 books. The first 15 of the year. So first is The Captain's Daughter. I loved this book. It was, it's by Meg Mitchell Moore. It's about, a young woman. Let's call her a young woman. She's, like, older. She has 2 kids. She moved away. And she goes back to see her dad because her dad is really sick. And, yeah, it's about her struggling to be, like, with the town she ran away from, which is like a small lobstering village, and like struggling to be in the like high society, like have boats and belong to like a club, a country club. That's what they're called. I was never one of those people, so I was like struggling on how to like, but yeah. But it's a really good book. It made me cry at some points. But I think you should read it. If you find it. I found this at Dollar Tree. Like, I don't know. But it was a good book. And I would totally recommend it. Next, I'm going to talk about 2 books. These are Passion and Torment. This is from the Fallen series by Lauren Kate. I did not particularly like these. I only have these 2. And I think this is 2 and 3. One of these is 2 and one of these is 3. I think it's 2 and 3, or it might be 2 and 3. I don't know exactly. It doesn't have... I wish all books had like the numbers on the side so I can know what number it is in the series. But yeah, I didn't really like these. I felt I liked them enough, like I enjoyed reading them, but they were kind of boring at some points. And the side characters were probably the most interesting. Like the main girl and the guy, I didn't really like. I'm getting rid of, I'm decluttering these 2 books after I filmed this update, so yeah. And I started reading the second book, and then I was like, I'm a little lost, so, and then I watched the first movie, because there was a movie, so I'm like, maybe, because I don't have the first book, maybe I could, and I was like, okay, it basically just told me the same things that are happening in the second book. Like, the second book kind of feels like a retelling of the first movie, slightly. Like, the same kind of stuff happens. So, if I had read the first book and then the second book, I felt like it would have been super repetitive. So, yeah. I'm getting rid of these. I don't really like these that much, but yeah. So, there's that. Then I read this book, which is actually a second book too. Like, somehow I just keep getting like books that are not the first book, and I really enjoyed this. I was a little lost in it because I didn't read the first book and I don't own the first book, but I really enjoyed it. Like, in the beginning there was lots of twists and turns, and I really like how it ended and stuff. But this is like a children's book. I would be like, it's like maybe late elementary school, early middle school, like I would say, is what it's from. I don't know, my mom brought it home for me one day, so I don't think she actually got it from one of these. I think she found it. Like, a lot of my books are from like old library books that they got rid of, or like stuff like that, so like I get them from the randomest places. But yeah, so I really enjoyed this book. Angela, I think her name is. I think it's Angela. Yeah. And then he is her apprentice. and he's a human and she's like a demon. And I really like her character a lot, and I think they have really good chemistry, and it's great book if you want like cool like little adventure-y kind of book. Yeah. Next, I also read another like children's book, like, because I don't know, I have lots of children's books. Like, I have like, this is like a series, and I like this like as much as I like the 39 Clues series, and I really like that series. Like, I like quick, easy reads, because these are just small, like 200 page like books, and these are really quick and easy to read, and there's not like super complicatedness into it, and I like having these like thrown in there sometimes. So yeah, this is the first book. I read the first book, but this is a series. I would love to get the rest of the series because I like the maps. I like the concept of like these children get spirit animals, and these are like legendary spirit animals, and like they have to come together. They're each from like different parts of the world, and yeah, I like how it's like different. They're like different parts of the world, and they're from different like backgrounds. Like let me show you. Let me see if I can find the map in here. See, this is the map. I love when books come with maps. Like, story building is just great. So this is the map of this world, and it's great. I think it's like kind of mapped after Old World, but slightly tweaked. So like, here is like kind of like the America, and then here's like Europe, and then here's like, this is like China over here, kind of. This is like Africa kind of. So yeah, it's like, yeah, I really like this book. And if you like enjoy like kind of reading children's books and like middle of the road children's books, like Scholastic Fair kind of books, not like baby books, but like, yeah, I think you would really enjoy this. Like, if you liked the 39 Clue series, or if you liked maybe Percy Jackson, I think you would enjoy like this series. I don't know how many books there are, but I only have the first one, and I only read the first one. Next, I read The Different Girl by Gordon Dahlquist. I don't know if I said that right, but yes. This was very different than what I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like, this was like, there's like these, you don't really get a lot of answers solved, but it's like this has really bad Goodreads like reviews, but like I liked how it ended. It felt like it all just kind of went back to the way it was. I mean, you still have some questions, but like, I'm glad everyone, well, mostly everyone turned out safe. Not like everyone, because something happens, but and it's based about these 4 kind of like robot girls or android girls, and then a normal girl like washes up on shore, and they have to figure out how they're different from this girl and stuff. So like, it's very, very interesting, and I really like it. Next is The Supernaturalist by I don't know how to pronounce that name. Is it like Ian, maybe? That's my guess. It's like Ian pronounced, but I don't know. And then Colfer. I wonder if there's any relation to Chris Colfer. Probably not, but yeah. This book was okay. It threw me for some plot twists. Like, I thought this was gonna be another like simple, easy read, but this threw me for some plot twists. Some stuff happened in here that I didn't expect to happen in here. I was like, oh my god. Like, usually stories progress along a thing, but this like completely 360'd on me, and I was like, oh my god. It was crazy. But I still like the way it ended. It's basically about how this guy, he almost dies, and then because of his near-death thing, he sees these weird creatures, and so like everyone, so then he gets put with these other weird creatures, No, he doesn't get put. This boy gets in this group that hunts the weird creatures. And there's only like 5 of them in the group. And I like everyone in this group. Everyone is so different from each other. And I really like the group. So, yeah. If this sounds interesting. I am not good at describing books. That's why I don't leave reviews. Because I'm not good at describing books. And the next was the book that I don't have. It's called Jericho. I don't remember who it's by. That'll be in the description box. They'll have all the books and their authors and the day I finish them in the description box. So if I'm missing something, just look down there. Because I'm kind of spacey all the time. So it's like, if I don't know things, it's probably in the description box. Because I tried to fill it out to the best of my abilities. So, yeah. So it's called Jericho. It was like a little, I think it was only like 150 pages. It was a small book. But it was basically about this girl. She had to go and spend her summer vacation kind of with her great-grandmother, who's like sick and kind of dying. And they're like fixing up her house to sell and stuff. And kind of switches back between, I forget her name. I think it was Angela too or something. I think it might have been Angela too, like the other book. And then the grandma was named Aminda, which I thought was a really interesting name, and everyone called her like Min for short, which was really cute. Like I've never heard that name before, but maybe it was like old timey name. So like kept switching back and forth between the two of them. So you kind of got to know her backstory, and then you kind of got to know where Angela is for this like little trip that she's have, and like kind of I felt like they didn't really meet in the middle at the end. I felt like they could have met more in the middle. They kind of did in the most kind of basic way, but I felt like it could be more jointed together. And if it was my book, I would have probably not kept it, even though I liked it. I just wouldn't reread it, and if I'm not to read a book, I'm not to keep it. So yeah. And then next, I read these books and Eragon, but Eragon is on my shelf. My Eragon is kind of in bad shape. It got water damage slightly. It's still readable, but I didn't want to bring it over here. So these books, what is this called? Inheritance Saga by Christopher Paolini. I hope I said that right. But I like these books so much. Like, I was really wanting to read like a fantasy, like super fantasy like series. So like I reached for these, and like so Eragon I like blazed through within like 5 days. I read like 100 pages a day. My average reading thing is I read about usually 30 to 70 pages a day. Like that's my average reading speed a day. But that I like blazed through and did like 100 pages a day and like got through it in like 5 days because that book is like 500 pages long. And then I did this one, and this one was like longer. It was kind of heavy to hold, and now I was like, okay, let me just finish this because like these two kind of looked shorter to me than that one, but they're not. They each increasingly get bigger, which is kind of crazy. I think it's actually this way, but yeah, they're each like, this one is like 750 and this one's like 800 or something. 850 pages. So these are some hefty big boys. I kind of like that I didn't know going into it how big they were, because I don't think I would have chose them. But I had a good chunk. I was trying to get through them kind of quick. Like the last one took me like a month to finish. It took me a long time to finish that because it was so hard to like hold it up. So I kind of just laid down and read it with it like on my bed, and like it was just kind of heavy to hold and like read going places. So yeah, but if you like dragons, if you like fantasy, read these books because like they're just great. And these are like what I love like to read all the time. It's just books like these, like this, or like Lord of the Rings, or like any of that stuff, like fantasy stuff like that. It's just like my cup of tea, and that's what I would read over and over and over again. So yeah. Next, we only have 3 more books. Next, I have Flipped by Wendelin van Draanen. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is a cute book. This is a small, cute book. I really like Julie. Julie is my favorite character in this book. Like, it starts out with switching back and forth between Julianna, and Bryce. And there's a movie on this. I think it's on one of the platforms somewhere. I don't remember. I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it soon. But it's really cute. And it just flips it back between them. And it kind of starts like Bryce moves into town and Julie is across the street. And she like kind of develops a little crush on him. And then he is kind of mean to her. And then eventually he develops a crush on her. And then she's like, no way, you're mean to me, kind of thing. And it's like, it's kind of an interesting story. And it's cute. They're like, middle school age near the end of it. So, like, it's cute. But, yeah. And then last are these 2. Pure and Fuse, which is 1 and 2 in the Pure trilogy, I think it's called. Yeah. Pure trilogy. And I don't have the 3rd book. I wish I did, because I ended up liking these so much more than I thought. Like, I went into these books thinking that I was going to declutter them after. But I'm not. I really enjoy these. I want to get the 3rd book. Pressa is like, I really like her character. And she's really cute. Like, I imagine her being super cute. So, like, yeah, I really like her character. And, like, everyone else is kind of, like, okay, I guess. They're, like, not Pressa. I'm, like, I like the main character the best. But, yeah. So, it's basically about, like, there's these group of people in the dome, which is unaffected by, like, the blasts and stuff. And there's, like, toxic, like, dystopian world. I love dystopian novels. But, so, like, yeah, it's where people are, like, fused with things, like... So, like, Pressa, she has a hand that's, like, a doll head is one of her hands, which is cool. And, like, but, yeah. So, different people outside of the dome are fused with things. The people in the dome were, like, safe from the blasts and stuff. So, yeah. But I really like both of these. And if you like dystopian novels, I think you will probably like these. They kind of took a little bit of getting into it, but after you're into it, I really liked them. So that's everything. That was a lot of books. Hopefully you enjoyed learning about all the books I read so far. Well, just the first half of the year. And hopefully the next half of the year goes quickly. I think I can finish a month or more early, which is great, because then I can... read more books, and next year I'm gonna be focusing on more than I thought it was. Like, because this year I've just brought in kind of a lot of books, and I didn't want to bring a lot of books, but I just, things happen and stuff, so, but yeah, so next year, instead of reading the 40 I was planning, I didn't want to do 50 again for sure, so I did a middle ground, so next year I'm gonna do 45, which there'll be so many books. Like, a lot of books. But I think I can do it. Because this 30 is being pretty easy for me. Because I'm only 18 through. But, like, only, like, halfway through the year. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And bye.